First grade, we're going to do phonics lesson 123. 123. 1, 2, 3. Get your phonics out for me. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay. We are going to play a game of bingo, but we are going to play word bingo. This takes some extra special listening, okay? Because as we play this game, I am going to play along with you, but I'm going to give you a minute because I, of course, want you to cover the word before I do so that you are practicing listening and following directions, and then you can double check with me and I will hopefully do it after you. Okay, so here's how we play the game. I'll say a word, then I'll tell you to change one sound in that word, okay? So I'll tell you a word, I'll tell you to change, sorry, I bumped your table, it's getting wiggly. I'll tell you to change a sound in that word, and that will spell a new word, okay? So this first one we'll call a practice, all right? When you, of course, cover all the words in one line, remember it can go horizontal, vertical, or oblique, oblique, oblique. This is how we play. Cover the word made by changing the vowel sound in hat to an aw. If we change the vowel sound in hat to an aw, what new word do you get? If we change the a to an aw, we get hot. Do you see the word hot? We change the a to an aw, and that makes hot. You can cover, and again, if you'd like to use your pencils to do lots of different colors, we can try that. Okay, let's try again. Here's another one. Change the final sound in hat to mm. Change the final sound in hat to mm. Can you find the word? If we change the final sound in hat to we've got ham. Ham. That's right, down here. And you cover the word ham. Okay, next, change the initial sound. That's right, at the beginning, initial sound in hat to s. So change the to a s in hat. What word would you get? At. Sat. That's right. Let's find the word sat and then cover the word sat. Good job. Next, change the vowel sound in hat to Change the vowel sound in hat to What would the new word be? Hat would turn into hut. Hut. Find the word hut. Okay, and color that one in. Okay, nice work. Let's do another one. Change the initial sound. What's initial? That's right, at the beginning. Change the initial sound in hat to a p. Change the initial sound in hat to a p. If we change hat into pat, that's right. Cover the word, find the word, and cover the word pat. Sorry, I was looking for a color. How about you? Come on out and play. Okay, good job. Next, change the initial sound in hat to a Change the initial sound in hat to And what did you find? Mat. That's right. Find the word and color it in. And what do you have to say, first grade? Bingo. That's right. You should have a horizontal bingo across the top. All right. Nice job. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and scoot that to the side. We'll call that practicing. Let's see if that's practicing our sounds. Oh no, we still get to practice our sounds. Hey, if you want to skip it, you can skip it. If you want to practice your sounds, because we only have a couple more to do. So here we go. Let's call that practicing sounds, okay? So we're going to squiggle. We haven't done this in a while. We're going to squiggle 1 through 10, and then we're going to start spelling at number 11. Okay, so now we're on number 11. On number 11, both of these words have irregular spellings. Okay, so if you're not sure, do your best. Also. Also is a word that has an irregular spelling. So what do you think? That's right. A-L-S-O. Also. Number 12, spell the word always. 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 Okay? Let's sound him out. Always. Yeah, you'll remember that's, of course, the A sound that we learned in lesson 122, like wallet. Okay, so that's irregular spelling. Remember, we didn't add it for aw. All right, nice work. Pencils down to listen. All right, you might have noticed at the top of our page, we are practicing digraphs. You know they're digraphs because they're underlined. Digraph E-I. Remember, not very long ago, we learned digraph I-E. And sometimes they can really trick each other. Or I guess they don't really trick each other. They trick people. People get a little confused about when do I use EI and when do I use IE. But today's lesson is EI, and then we'll talk a little bit about spelling with those two friends, okay? So, pencils down to listen. Did I already say that? Sometimes I have to say it 2 times. Right? Am I right? Okay. Echo these words and listen for the sound that's the same in each word. Echo ceiling. Remember, we use C when it makes its soft sound before an E, I, or Y. Okay? Echo protein. Echo seize. Does anybody know the word seize? It means to grab or grasp. Seize, or to take, something like that. Okay, any of those kinds of meanings for the word seize. Now, what did you hear in the medial position? Ceiling, protein, seize. That's right, you heard E. And as you look, who do you think might be making that sound? Yes, they all have an E-I in them. And what is E-I? 2 letters coming together to make one sound. And how do we code a digraph? That's right, we underline them. Now in this particular digraph, what sound did we hear? That's right, E. So did we hear the I at all? No. So this is going to be an underline, cross it out, macron. Say it with me. Underline, cross it out, macron. Say it with me. Underline, cross it out, macron. All right. Now, do any of these other words need any other coding? Yeah, there's actually a lot going on. Let's take a look at the first word. Okay. Now, you first think, oh, I see ing. That's a suffix, right? But let's decide. Let's do a suffix check. Cover up the suffix. Is this a word by itself? Does anybody know the word seal? Now, not a seal that lives in the ocean. Not a seal like or. That's spelled differently. Seal, this spelling of seal is not a word by itself. So it actually, the word sealing needs the ing to be the word. So it is not a suffix, okay? Not a suffix. I don't see a final stable. So I'm going to mark your vowels and what's between them. Where are we going to divide? Do you think people say sealing or sealing? Sealing. We're going to divide after the consonant. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the first syllable. We need a C and a vowel followed by a consonant short sound and digraph NG with an accent on the first syllable. What's the word? Sealing. Sealing. You know, over your head. Everybody look up. There you are. Hi, Sealing. How are you? And it's not a or. He's not over your head. That'd be weird. All right. The next word, protein. I see two syllables. I don't see a final stable or a suffix, so I'm going to mark your vowels and what's between them. All right, do you think this word is the word protein or protein? Yeah, it's pro. So that O, he needs to be over here, so he can be open, accent, code it with a macron. So what's the word? Protein. Protein. And in our last word, something's missing. Do we hear the E on the end at all? No, he's a silent E, so we'll cross him out. So there we have coded those three words. Now, echo these words and listen for the sound you hear that's the same in each word, okay? The sound that's the same. Echo veil. Echo vein. You know, like a bride would wear a veil, blood runs through your veins. And what about rain? Okay. Now, what sound do you hear in all those words? The ale, vein, rain. What do you hear? A. You hear A. And when you look, who do you think's making that sound? Yeah, they all have an EI. EI makes A. That's strange. Digraph EI makes two sounds. He makes A and he makes E. Now, is digraph EI a vowel digraph or a consonant digraph? That's right, a vowel digraph because they're made up of vowels. Now, let me tell you about coding digraph EI. Because he is a digraph, we're going to underline him. Now, is there any way we can code it to tell people, hey, this guy is making an A sound? Can we code it so he can say A? No, we cannot. So we can't code the EI to say A, so we'll just underline it, and then you're done. And you might have noticed that at the top of our paper. When he says A, he just gets underlined. When he's saying E, he's an underline, cross it out, macron. So we see that he's saying his long sound E. Okay, does that make sense? There are two keyword pictures. One of them, okay, this is something that you get at the grocery store when you finish paying. See, it's coming out of the register. It's called what? Yeah, a receipt. Receipt. And it says E, so that helps us remember digraph EI says E. Okay? The other keyword picture, you can see the arrow pointing at her veil. That veil. And you can see, because we can't code EI to say A, we will just underline it, and then you're done. Okay, now digraph EI is irregular for spelling for both the E and the A sounds, so we're not going to add anything. If I were to say echo E, we're not going to add this. If I were going to say echo A, we are not going to add this. All right. So as you can see, the next thing we're going to do is practice some spelling. So if you'd like to pick up your pencils for number 13, can you spell the word weird? You know, because EI is kind of weird. Weird. Yes, it's, what are we practicing? The EI saying E. So W-E-I-R-D. That's weird. Number 14, spell the word either. Either. Bite your tongue in the middle. Either. Bite your tongue. Either. Okay? That's right. E. We're practicing EI says E. Then bite your tongue for digraph ETH. And the most common way we hear ER. Either. That is a tricky word, but he's fancy. And number 15, vain. Vain. You're paying attention, it was just on the board. Vain. Like the vein, you can see the vein in Miss Wilson's hand. Okay, great. That's right, V-E-I-N, vain. And that's when it says A, like veil, okay? So for coding, number 16. We've got digraph E-I. I know he's saying E or A, so is this a veal or a veil? That's right, veil. Okay. For number 17, I see two syllables. I don't see a final stable. I don't see a suffix. He's a compound word. All right, so draw your line to divide it. Now let's worry about the first syllable. There he's saying A, rain. Underline, cross it out, macron. Accent on the first syllable, reindeer. And that's a picture. I have to draw a very long line. Hi. Number 18, we actually coded this earlier. Remember, you do see the ing and you're like, suffix, but wait. Remember, that is not a word by itself. So we're going to divide, we're going to code it. We're going to mark the vowels and what's between them. Divide after the consonant. Okay? Sadia C, underline, cross it out, macron. Remember that we just put, this is a vowel, consonant vowel pattern because even though there are two vowels, they are making one vowel sound, okay? That's why it's not a vowel, consonant vowel. It's a one sound, so we mark it with one vowel marking, okay? Now let's do the second syllable. Vowel followed by a consonant short sound, digraph NG, accent on the first syllable. Number 19. Ooh, I see that ED floating out there. Is this a word by itself? Yes, so box that suffix. All right, here we've got still two syllables. Even after we did our suffix, we still have two syllables. So we're gonna mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide between the consonants. All right, now I even have a smaller part. All I'm worried about are these three letters. Let's get them. K back C. Why did I know that's a K back C? Because is this a E, I, or Y? No. Now here I knew he was a Sadia C because there's an E behind him. Remember? He makes his soft sound when he comes before an E, I, or Y. And then K back C is everything else. Vowel followed by a consonant, short sound. Oh, look, there's an E. So is he a Sadia C or a K back C? Yes, Sadia C comes before an E, I, or Y. Here's digraph EI making its E sound. So let's underline, cross it out, macron. And this time, the accent's on the second syllable. That word in its little parts, ready? Conceited. Conceited. Does anybody know conceited? Now, when you're conceited, you're kind of full of yourself. You're kind of prideful and you think you are pretty fantastic. And maybe you are, but you know, you need to let other people let you know about that instead of just talking about yourself. Conceited, usually people talk about themselves and think they're pretty great stuff. But we need to be humble in our spirit. So we're not going to do that, are we? Number 20. Two syllables, no final stable, no suffix. So I'm going to mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide before the consonant. Remember, we need the O to say O in this word. And if we coded him after, he'd say propped instead of pro. He's saying E, underline, cross it out, macron, accent on the first syllable. What's that word? Protein. Protein. Good job. Let's keep going. Number 21. I see two syllables, but as I look, that's a compound word. I'm going to divide and code each side separately. Remember, he's saying aw, like wallet, like we learned in lesson 122. His fancy dress up are the two dots. Okay? If you'd like, you can cross out the second twin, but you don't have to. And then there's a bossy R arc with an accent on the first syllable. What's that word? Ballpark. Ballpark. Number 22 is also a big word, but as I look, I see he is a compound word also. So I'm going to divide it and code each side separately. I'm going to get it nice and small. Vowel followed by a consonant, short sound, and digraph SH. What's that word? Dish. All right, now, look, I still have two syllables. I don't have a final stable or a suffix, so I'm going to mark your vowels and what's between them. Now, let's decide. Divide before the consonant. He can say aw there. Okay? And bossy R arc, accent on the first syllable. What's the word? Dishwater. Dishwater. Good job. Maybe you have been helping mom in the kitchen with some washing dishes in the dishwater or dishwasher. All right, number 25. I see two syllables. I don't see a final stable or a suffix, so I'm going to Mark your vowels and what's between them. Divide before the consonant. This time he's saying like a schwa, and a vowel, but no. Sneaky E. And remember, if he has a schwa sound, we're putting an accent on the end because we're going to say alive. Alive. All right. Number 24. I see that ing. Let's decide. Is this a word by itself? Yes. So box that suffix. I've got a diphthong, O-I, with an accent on the root word. What's that word? Oi, oi, boil, boiling. Okay, and number 25, I see two syllables. I don't see a suffix, but I do see a final stable syllable. No crossing out. That leaves, all right, let's look in little parts. That leaves the O open, accent, coated with the macron. So what's that word? Lotion. Lotion. And that's actually the keyword picture for T-I-O-N. Shun, 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 shun. T-I-O-N. Shun, 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 shun. That's the end of the lesson. Shun, 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 shun. Woo! All right. So digraph E-I makes two sounds, E and A. Say it with me, E and A. Say it again, E and A. Receipt and veil are our key word pictures. All right, that's lesson 123 in phonics. Thanks, first grade.